What's up, guys? Welcome back to another beautiful week of interviews. And yes, I know I've been doing rappers and producers and DJs and all sorts of different type of people, but today I got the first person that's ever even in his own genre of music. I would want to classify it as rock, but dude, like, you got all different types, man. I feel like you're like, versatile, if that's what it is, because you make different types of music. You don't make just the one that you just showed me. Like, you make all different types, and I think it's beautiful. Because what would you classify yourself as?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all rock and roll.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I guess we go more on like the pop rock side.
Yeah.
I mean, some
Do you
stuff
see what
gets
I mean,
heavier,
though?
some stuff gets lighter.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say that because, like, for real, he showed me some music before we started, and dude, it was beautiful. Like, I told him, like, it's some Guitar Hero stuff. Like, I feel like that's the vibe, bro. And I don't really listen to that type of music, so like, it's pretty cool to finally meet somebody that I can find a common interest in. So I didn't get a chance to properly introduce him, but his name is 𝙄𝙣𝙩𝙚𝙬𝙧𝙫𝙬. Interview 82. I just had to give 82. You a fire introduction because, dude, it's been beautiful meeting you, man. You're a great person. You're very humble. You're nice. Like, I feel like your mindset is really different than other people that you hang out with.
Likewise, my friend. Absolutely.
And just your movement, what you got going on, and hearing a lot of adversity, I guess you could say, or what is it? Is that the right word?
Yeah, that's the way to put it. Yeah.
Of what you overcame. Like, I feel like you've overcame stuff that could have made you quit, and you didn't. And I barely know you, and I think it's cool, like, to see it, and you're okay to tell your story.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So, dude, thank you for coming on.
I'm happy to be here.
For real, I know we already died, but dude, it's been beautiful. How you been, bro? You been chilling?
Yeah, busting my behind because we're on live. Yeah. But yeah, dude.
I feel you, man. Other than that, like, before we dig into like where you're from and stuff, like, have you been like staying focused? Like, do you feel like it's been harder to stay focused lately?
Oh man, I mean, it's always a challenge, not being quite successful, as they would say. Right. I gotta balance family, life, work, and music, and you just gotta find a nice place in the middle where you're not hanging yourself in the garage.
No, that's a fact. Because, I mean, it's easy to get, dwelled into your thoughts and stuff. Because, as you guys know, I've been doing these interviews every 2 weeks, and it's hard sometimes. Like, it's hard to keep going. Even now, like, my nose is just, like, flared out of nowhere, and I'm like, I'm not sick, but it's just weird, So stuff happens, you got to keep going and going. But let's get into it, man. Let's figure out who 𝙄𝙣𝙩𝙚𝙧𝙫𝙬 is, man. Where are you from? Where were you born?
I was born in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Okay. So that's probably about 30 minutes outside of Detroit. Funny fact, it's closer to the Palace of Auburn Hills than it is to Detroit.
Okay. What is that?
That's where the Pistons played up until they tore down the stadium.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So up until like 2008, they played there. They were the Detroit Pistons, but they were nowhere near Detroit.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy. When did, like, not saying, I know you said it happened, but when did you, like, how old were you? When was it affecting you kind of, like, to make you remember it like that?
It was so funny because, I was, like, I hadn't played, like, 2K, like, video games like that in a long time, and I got 2K20. I went to play with the Pistons, and I was like, hold on, this ain't the Palace of Auburn Hills. That's when I first realized they tore it down and built the Little Caesars Center.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy, because a lot of stadiums are doing that now, actually. I think all of them are. I don't think there's really that many that are still what they were a long time ago.
No, yeah, like, growing up in Detroit, so I went to, like, the Joe Louis Arena and, like, the Palace of Auburn Hills. They all just played in the Little Caesars Arena now. They tore all those places down.
Dude, that's crazy.
Didn't find it out until, like, years later.
Right. Dude, I was going to ask you, what do you remember the most growing up where you're from? Like, what's something that stuck with you and you will never forget? Because we've all had different types of stuff happen in our growing area.
Yeah. I guess the situation that I left was very strange. Yeah. Because it was like I was just getting out of middle school, or just getting out of elementary school, going into middle school. And, like, the whole group of kids I'd grown up with, I moved to South Carolina. Yeah. I never heard from them again. So it was a weird little restart kind of thing, How
old were you whenever you kind of, like, came to that realization?
Shoot, I mean, it was probably like 11 or 12.
Yeah. Did you feel like it hit your life differently than...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What
was the first big change you remember?
I'm probably diving into music. I mean, I was always into music like that, but I really had, like, an outlet for it here, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's real different. I mean, especially, like, not knowing a whole lot of people. I spent a lot of time, like, especially in, like, middle school, early high school. I mean, I would just sit alone with my guitar and just practice all the time.
Would you make your own type of music, or was it more of like you were doing covering Is that what it's
A
called?
little bit of both.
Yeah.
So the first song I remember learning on guitar like completely was "Walk the Line" by Johnny Cash.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little classic there.
Yeah, I love Johnny.
And then I remember writing my first song. It probably wasn't that good, but as early as like 12.
Wow. Okay. What was it like contained of? Was it like depression music or something like that? And I wouldn't say depression music, but you know how like some people like you would hear rock or anything like that, and they're kind of sad or they're going through different types of stuff. Like, was your music like that at that age, or what was it like?
Later it was. So like when I first started writing songs here and there. I mean, you're 12 years old. You don't really have too many life experiences.
Yeah, I was curious. Like, what were you singing? Like, you said you made your own song. So, like, what was like being brought up in the music?
Making stuff up about women mostly. Everyone has a good love song in there somewhere.
No, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of I mean, like at that age, it was just like kind of imagining scenarios. I mean. Still do that today though, so
no, I mean
just a little better.
Just on it, yeah. That's a good one. No, that's a fact. But I mean, because we all start off with imagination. That's kind of what life is. You know what I'm saying? Like you go from being young to manifesting what you really want, and sometimes you may not get what you want. So therefore, it's not manifestation; it's failure.
Right.
So you learn from that. So have you ever had any situations like that?
Like where I manifested something and just.
You wanted it to be manifested and then it's never happened? Like maybe just a long-lived dream that you've always wanted to do? Like me, I've always wanted to be a basketball player growing up.
Okay, yeah.
That's not happening because I'm a YouTuber now.
Yeah,
so it's
of course.
You know?
I guess, as long as I can remember, I've just always wanted to play music and be a musician, and I'm still climbing that hill. So ask me again in 10 years, and I'll let you know.
That's awesome, though, man. Because some people go through like 5 different career paths within like a year. Yeah. You know what I mean? They go from being in like electrician to moving to working in Cracker Barrel. Not downplaying anybody, but you know what I mean? Like that sure. Change of pace in career. And I feel like you said, good answer because you probably been doing it for your whole life. Like that's what you have a passion in. Yeah. So maybe that's how you're doing wood.
Yeah, if you look up like my transcripts from 8th grade when we do the whole like, what do you want to do in the future? Trying to say in the high school path, it officially says professional musician on there. Right. Can't make that shit up.
No, that's dope. That's goals, man. You look like you vibe out, bro, and your music matches it.
Yeah, man.
But we'll dig into that. So where'd you go to elementary school at?
Ewell Elementary in Shelby Township, Michigan.
Wow. So I know normally when I ask this, because some people, and this is kind of later on in the interview, if you're still watching it, thank you. But it's like the fact that you're living a whole different state in elementary school is kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, it was,
have you heard or anything different, like, have you heard or seen anything different from our elementary school compared to the ones in Michigan? Sorry.
Oh man,
I got stuck on the question.
Yeah, the whole curriculum they teach up north is completely different from down here, and it's insane.
Like what?
So specifically Civil War history.
Oh yeah.
Specifically Civil War history.
What was that like? Quick description.
Yeah, no, of course I won't drag out it or anything, but so up north they always teach, everything was about slavery, this, that, and the third, freedom of, the black people and all that. And how great Abraham Lincoln was and all that. Emancipation Proclamation, 7th, 3rd. And down here, I remember the first time I learned about the Civil War, they said it was about states' rights. Oh, I was like, that doesn't sound about right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Regardless of what happened or didn't happen, it's just very different perspectives, going to school in 2 different places.
No, that's insane, man. And then, where'd you go to middle school at?
I went to River Oaks.
Wow, yeah. Okay, so now you're here. You're back here. So
back in the South, man.
What age did you move here, if you don't mind me asking?
10.
So is that when you kind of came to this is my music? Because I heard you earlier say 11 and 12 you started making it. Did it take for you to move here to become a musician?
In a way, yes. So I probably got my first guitar. I was about 8 or 9 years old. I didn't know the hell to play it. Just kind of hit some strings. That's how it starts. And then in 7th grade I started taking guitar classes at River Oaks. Shout out to Kurt Sauer, amazing guitar teacher. And I learned what I could from him. I did it for 2 years and then just took off on my own from there.
Right. Did you do band and stuff like that in middle school and stuff?
I did. I did 6th grade band and I played the trombone and I wasn't a fan.
What did you didn't like about it? Or what didn't you like about it?
One, I can't read music.
Yeah. I don't know how people do it. Dude, if you can read music, seriously, if you're watching this and if you can read music, you have a gift. Because how can you... I don't know.
I know a lot of people that can, but it just never clicked with me like that. I think that's why...
It's like subtitles. Yeah. If you really think about it, it's really like subtitles.
It's its own language.
Yeah.
It's its own language,
and
man.
I just feel like that takes a lot of a passion to actually learn and take time to learn that. So
Right.
if you're watching this, seriously, you better take appreciation of that gift. Because I can't read that crap, bro. I don't know how y'all do it.
Yeah.
Or do you struggle with that currently?
I never use it. I mean, as a guitar player, so most guitar music, the way it's broken down, is called tablature. So pretty much, it looks like a music staff, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for every string, and it's 0, 3, 5, what fret you're hitting. So it takes the guesswork out of it.
Right. Is that so? When you make your music, do you kind of just go straight off the like top with it and just write down your lyrics, or is it more?
Yeah,
like,
I just write down lyrics. Sometimes I'll write down like chord progressions, but other than that, I just keep playing and memorize it. And I mean, maybe I'll be famous enough one day. Someone will transcribe it and put it in the book or something.
No, right. No, you will. You will. I just had to ask those questions because they were already in my head. Because we're still in middle school part. But is there anything that you remember most like that indicated like your mind to make you want to do different in middle school? Because we all go through that. I know I'm still deep on the middle school and elementary school
no worries.
But we become who we are at those stages of life. And I think you can agree. Like,
absolutely.
You figure out who you really are in high school. As much as we may not know what we want to do, we know who we are by high school. So is there anything that you remember in middle school that kind of stuck out, like that made you realize who you were, like solidified you? Because you don't seem like you've tried to be anybody else. Like you seem
so in like 7th and 8th grade, I was the weird kid with the long hair and the leather jacket.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I used to get searched at least twice a week.
Yeah, just because you're long hair?
Yeah.
Crazy.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's fine. See?
Whoever that vice principal was, I swear he had it out for me, man. Like,
dude, some people, I mean, I get it, not really, but it's more of like, I could see like why a lot of people get judgmental, because this world that we live in now is so like, it's harsh, bro. You know what I mean? If you really think about it, like, and you never know what's going on, but nobody should ever judge a book by its cover.
No.
Dude, you're a genuine great person. I bet you were a great person when you were in middle school and stuff.
Might have been a little asshole, but...
You know, do you think that, like, the world is, like, as bad as it is? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you would see, and I'm only bringing this up because you would see, you know, anybody who makes rock and roll music, like they're alcoholic, they're this and that. Like, how do you feel like that portrays, like, you know what I'm saying?
So I mean,
did a good question.
No, I get what you're saying, like kind of like the reputation of like
stereotypes.
Yeah, the old stereotypes.
Yeah,
they come from those like old '80s movies. The rocker, the punk rocker, he's always the bully. Like,
and then in middle school, if you have your long hair, they probably think you're the pothead.
Yeah.
So how'd you overcome that? Like, what were ways that you kind of like? Was there, therapy or
No, I've never seen a therapist in my life.
Well, I mean, you got music
therapy. Yeah, there you go. But no, I mean, you just gotta keep trucking, man.
Yeah. What are ways? Like, what is one advice you would give anybody who's kind of having those mental, battles?
Just always be genuine, even if the general people, they think you're weird, they think you're this, they think you're that. I mean, be your genuine self, because I mean, being fake, you're just cheating yourself. At the end of the day, you'll find that group of people that you really connect with. You'll find those certain people that you really connect with, and you don't have to fake it.
No, I agree.
That's one thing I've always been against. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I could act like this popular kid, cut my hair back, and so fit the more mainstream appeal. But what's the point, man? I'll be miserable. It won't come off as genuine. What's the point?
You're right, man. That's why you're a great person now, because like I can tell, dude, you're a great leader, bro. And if you got a band, right?
Oh yeah.
What's the name of your band for some people?
High Impact Distortion.
Okay. And I was trying to say it before, but you even told me it's a hard name.
It's original, but it's a mouthful.
No, but it's still interesting because like I've never had anybody who came on here and who's in a band, and I think I got like maybe 2 other people gonna hop on soon that have a band. Yeah, and I can't wait for you to see them. Shout out to them. I believe, don't get mad at me, Max. Really cool kid. Shout out to Robbie. Okay. But it's still cool to just see like the widespread of variety of people I'm interviewing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because dude, you're living a whole different life than a lot of people that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That don't live that life. So we'll dig into it because we didn't talk about high school. But where'd you go to high school?
Fort Dorchester.
Okay. Did you like anything in particular there?
Oh God, I hated that place. Yeah, I never showed up.
So you were skipping. What was your favorite class to skip?
Senior year, it was some type of typing class or something. I think
keyboard.
Yeah, it had to be keyboard because I never took it as a freshman. I took like a Latin and something else,
right?
Stuff that was actually like interesting.
Yeah.
And then I came down to see here. Oh, you have to take keyboarding, didn't go too well.
No, I can imagine. I'm not trying to encourage anybody to skip. Don't ever
absolutely
skip.
not. No, get your education. Stay in school unless you're like super talented.
Right.
But
no, it's different. There is some people, and sorry, Mono. There is some people though that really have that talent of being able to not have to study.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a natural gift for some people.
Yeah.
So, did you have that gift, or did you have to study in school?
Fortunately, yes.
Yeah.
I was the kid that would skip class and never do his homework, and rock the A on the test, and pass with about a 78.
Hey, and that's where that's where this man's different, because there's some people that probably, I didn't get the A part, but I would skip and still pass and get like a D or C.
Right, yeah.
Hey, the A, that's all that matters.
Dude, you're looking for the piece of paper at the end of the day.
No, that's a fact.
If you have greater aspirations, Harvard, Cornell,
right.
Good for you, man.
No, right.
School doesn't necessarily agree with me.
No, and some people need to come to realization with that, and I think that's what's wrong with the school system now, is like we think that we should always be getting these A's and B's. Like there's going to be some people who really cannot focus in school, man.
Absolutely.
And take the test and be able to pass in flying colors. But no, so after high school, what did you feel like, what was your calling at the time? Was it still music? Like, were you mainly focused on music the whole time? Anything changed?
Oh, so we're going to talk about directly out of high school.
Yeah, like, so,
I went through
assuming you graduated, right?
I did graduate, barely.
Mm-hmm. You still did, though.
I'm not putting what I was about to say on the record. We can talk about that later.
Right.
But I got my diploma, moral of the story.
Right.
Yeah, straight up, I was working at a Five Guys. My music aspirations weren't where they should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Got real caught up in, my girlfriend at the time and getting high and hanging out with friends. And
Rockstar life.
Yeah, except I wasn't playing guitar.
Oh, wow,
problem.
so it's the star part.
So yeah, between 15 and 17, I hardly touched my guitar and went through this kind of weird, like, druggy kind of... No, not at all. I really got into rap for a while, actually.
Wow.
I did.
Like hardcore rap, or was it like...
No, I got really into like Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg and like some like NWA, like older stuff.
That's dope.
No, yeah, for sure. And like I was messing with that for a while. I used to be really good at making beats. I probably couldn't I could probably pull something off now.
Wow.
But,
dude, I don't think anybody would ever expect to hear you
No,
say
absolutely
that.
not.
That's insane.
Unless you knew me when I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
Then
What do you think's
yeah.
different about from when you're 17 years old?
I've just grown up a lot.
Yeah.
I still have the same passion for music. I put the work in I am now, but I didn't know anybody else that played rock and roll music at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, I can make rap music on my computer. It's super easy.
Yeah.
I've always been a bit of a lyricist, so I just do it all myself.
Did you sell any beats, or what?
No.
I just kept them in the vault.
Get a bunch of friends together, get
get
cool
lit,
blunts rolling around and
enjoying the moment.
Yeah, and
That's
we just get
crazy,
everyone on the
bro.
track and we just have fun with it.
I would not think you made beats, bro. That's something that took a wide turn. No,
I
for
know.
real, because like
I've actually never like talked about it like that since then. So
yeah.
here you go, coming out the show.
Hey, Rise to Elevate, lucky.
Heard it first here on Rise to
And you
Elevate.
did say that you hopped on podcasts before, man. Like, how do
Yeah.
you feel about that? Because I feel like you talk good enough. Like, you have a good, mindset. Like, you ever thought about doing
I love
something?
doing this stuff, man.
Yeah?
I love it, yeah.
What are some other shows you've been on? I just kind of want to
So,
ask.
if we want to shoot all the way back, my first interview like this was Metal for Metal with Stephen P.J. Jones.
Okay.
If you're in the Charleston metal scene, you know who I'm talking about. He's the man. And then I did a lot of stuff. Like I was telling you earlier, I was signed to Revolver Records with my last band, Sex at Tiffany's.
Okay.
So, we did a lot of stuff that was supported through them, for like a P&R for our EP.
Yeah. So
pretty cool.
What happened? Like, are you not part of Sex with Tiffany no more? Or?
No, we evolved into what we are, into High Impact Distortion, really. Yeah.
So they changed the whole name. It's like a whole revamp.
Yeah, absolutely,
Okay, that's
absolutely.
awesome. When did that happen?
That was last November-ish,
Okay.
October, November.
And this is something that was your idea, or was this like a? Like
It was
a group
between the
discussion?
group.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
How'd
between
that
the
get
group
brought
for
about?
sure.
I know that. I wish I could ask all you guys if you are watching it. But no, like, how was this brought about? Like, was just like somebody was like, we need to change our name, or?
So it was dispute with the personnel, and there were certain creative ideas that went his way and certain creative ideas that went our way. So we just tried to make it in everyone's best interest to, change the name and kind of go a different route.
That happens, man, and I'm glad that you guys kind of came over the adversity, because it's easy to just kind of give up, man. Especially when you're not on the same page.
I don't got that bone in me, man.
No, you can't, bro. You really can't, bro. And I think you got some a good group of people too, because
absolutely.
y'all are making great music, bro. Like that first song you showed me really was a good song.
Oh yeah, dude.
The second second one, I'm not saying it's not good, but it was like that first one really. I'm gonna remember that. And then that one part where I looked at you, I was like, whoa, the piano part.
Oh yeah,
killed it, bro. Like for real, y'all need to listen to my. Where can we find your music on? Where's your music at?
So I have some really crappy demos on SoundCloud right now.
No, wrong with that.
And then we were in the studio late June.
Okay.
And we've been kind of waiting to release it, kind of getting the marketing
so y'all are on
figured out
Spotify
correctly.
and stuff right now?
Not yet, no.
Okay. It takes time.
Yeah.
So you're more of like a live person.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah. So
how many times have you performed?
In general or with this band?
In general.
Hundreds, man. I mean, I've been going since 2017.
Yeah. Just locally or anywhere?
Furthest I've gone is probably Charlotte. I mean, so mostly locally. When I was in 𝙄𝙣𝙩𝙚𝙬𝙚, so if we want to slide that timeline back, we were talking about getting out of high school, getting into music.
Yeah.
So when I was 18, I met Jordan Miller. Who,
oh yeah.
You know Jordan Miller.
Everyone knows Jordan Miller. Yeah, I went to school. Yeah. That's who it was. I was going to show you.
Yeah.
And I showed you my other homie Michael.
That is my brother for life.
That's crazy.
All right.
Dude.
Yeah.
Small world, bro.
So,
I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's out of Charleston now.
Yeah.
But,
he's
so we had some mutual friends and stuff like that. We played together here and there, and I'm gonna get into a long story if you don't mind.
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. So, I was 17, 18 years old. I went to Rebellion Music Festival in Charlotte, and my dad had a friend with a hookup to get me backstage passes. And I met all these musicians and was standing on the side of the stage listening to this stuff, and I met all these crazy people, you know, who were smoking until they were telling me stories about the industry and stuff like that, and I was like, I need to be a part of this world.
Right.
I came back home, me and Jordan started talking, I was like, you know, I see you've been posting these rock and roll songs on Facebook and stuff like that, like, you mind if I hop on? Like, let's get something going. One thing led to another. We were in a band we were in 𝙄𝙧𝙀 for almost 5 years, and we really made an impact in this area too, as far as like the rock and metal scene. I mean, people still come up to me like, oh, you're that kid from 𝙄𝙧𝙀, right? It's like, yeah.
Dude, that's insane, though. Yeah, I'd honestly, Jordan, dude, I'm proud of you guys because I feel like I have seen you before.
Yeah, that's probably
seen
where.
Probably in the pictures with him.
Yeah.
But no, that's dope, man. Because I think a lot of times when you hear anybody tell the stories like that, like it's too good to be true.
Oh no,
you
I mean it was
saying?
one of the best times of my life, man. You know, always looking up, but
right. And then you got people who can look out to you and be like, "Yo, you're the dude from there." Like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you kind of reflect on those moments, or do you more like feel
absolutely?
Because you're with a whole new set of people, right?
I love to reminisce on it, man. I mean, me and Jordan still call each other, you know, a couple times a month, and just talk about old times, what we got going on, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's great.
And that's how it is, though. Because good friends and great minds always will think alike and collab, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Especially for the most part. I think a lot of times you lose who your real friends, bro. You know what I mean? Especially when you're really trying to do your career.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sad, really, you know? At the end of the day, it feels like everyone starts to kind of want something from you, and it's like...
Yeah, benefit. So how do you deal with that? Like, do you feel like that's happened a lot in the music industry for you? Like,
not for me, per se. I mean, I always keep it real with people, you know? Yeah, I'm not that successful yet.
No, you definitely are, man. No, you really are, man. Because, dude, I've already listened to your music. I know I've said it earlier, but dude, you're gonna make it, bro. I'm really proud.
It's really on the up and coming. You know, like that newest EP I just recorded. That's the first one I've ever really like mostly written by myself. I was always kind of playing guitar to other people's songs. So this is kind of my soul coming out.
So now you're just like you're running the band. Like you're the head person for the band, right?
Absolutely. My brother Leo, he helps me out a lot. You know, he's the drummer. You know, we kind of try to split the weight. But yeah, man, you know.
That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
That is a lot of weight.
It can be, absolutely.
How do you deal with that? I know you said music is your therapy, but there has to be some type of other coping mechanism. Like, do you feel like maybe like, you know, hanging out with your kids and stuff like that is some way to cope?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So it's almost like I'm two different people sometimes, you know? I'm a dad at home, and then I'm this crazy rock star when I go out.
Right.
And my kids have seen me in my element once or twice.
Right.
They love it, but, you know, you kind of got to, you know, code switch a little bit there. Yeah. Kind of keep balance in your life.
Imagine having to tell your kids, like, in 5 years that you gave up. Like, that's probably one of the most miserable feelings ever.
Yeah, that's one of the things that keeps me going. Because, you know, as hard as it is and as much sacrifice as I have to make sometimes, it's like, who am I having my children look up to if I call it quits? Yeah. Like, what am I supposed to tell them? Follow your dreams? I never did.
Right.
So, you know, that's very hard too. Yeah.
And it's a lot of things a lot of people don't take in consideration, especially in the music industry, because our kids are listening to some type of music.
Yeah.
So if you're making music, like, I really highly suggest, like, you know, make some good music, make clean music. I know it may not always be as clean as what you think, because you got to reach out to a wide variety of people. You know what I mean?
That's where metaphors come in.
Yeah, right.
You can talk about whatever you want as long as you're not diving at it.
It's a lot to it, maybe more than what we'll ever know, because I feel like, honestly, if you think about the dubstep lane, you know, that was all audio. There was no lyrics.
It's very different, yeah.
So it's like,
absolutely.
you just think about all these different things of how strong music is, and, you know, hearing your music, like, I feel like I could see a cowboy walking down the road with his horse. Like, for real, I see it. Like, I have a movie visionary mindset, so it's like, your music, that first song, I know I said earlier, but it really, I see it, and that's why it's an honor to even have you on the podcast.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
You're gonna be a legend, bro. You're gonna break the barriers, and I feel like you already have. So, do you have any, like, upcoming performances coming soon or anything like that?
At the moment, no. So this last weekend, we did a little stint. We did a Rebel Taqueria over in North Charleston.
Okay, yeah.
And then we went and played this house show up in Columbia. And we've only had our bass player back for about a week now. Mm-hmm. So I kind of threw him on the spot with that, and he's been wonderful about it. I love that man with all my heart.
He's shining though, because that's how you make some, you know, really powerful diamonds. Especially in the music industry, bro. You got to get put out in the front street. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get put in an awkward situation to become, like, a better performer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because how are you gonna learn how to perform?
Right. No, absolutely.
YouTube, you know. So.
Well, there is a little something.
Yeah,
to that,
but
you know,
there's the live aspect too, where you got that same person staring at you for 30 minutes, and you're like, oh shoot, like, I already know what it's like because I do podcast stuff, and, you know.
Yeah, man.
But as an artist, I couldn't imagine having 50 people just stare at you for 40
different.
minutes. And, it's very different. You're not used. Nobody's used to it.
No.
So YouTube can't do that, you know. But do you think that there is anything that you could learn by yourself doing performance, like? You know, because I heard you say, you know, YouTube does help, but is there anything you could do to practice for yourself?
So you just gotta, I mean, YouTube especially nowadays, I mean, there's so many, like, I mean, at least starting as, like, a novice musician, there's so many, like, lessons and, like, all types of stuff out there teaching your scales, your chords, all that. So that's fantastic.
So you're more of a visual learner or an audio, like you're in person?
I'd probably say visual learner.
Yeah, me too.
A little bit of both, though, because, like, when I was first starting, when I would learn a song, I'd look at the, you know, the tablature or whatever and figure out where everything is, and I'd listen to it and just start playing to it until it sounded right. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I was really able to mesh with a lot of bands the way I have, because I would always just kind of play to a record, and that's how I mean, if you put your mind in a certain place, you know, it's all you're just playing to. Especially if you're with a good band, you're just playing to the record.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Is there any bands that, particularly around here, but if anywhere or if anything around the U.S. that you could say you've worked with that you've had the most, you know, positive outcome or no disappointment, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
High expectations and they lived up to it?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I've worked with a lot of bands over the years. You know, a lot of local stuff. You know, there's like punk rock bands and stuff like that. And I mean, one of the Lilac was really cool. They're out of Savannah. I always really like playing with them. I haven't played with them with my new band. My last two bands, you know, they've been around for a while, so they're really cool. Bona Lisa out of Columbia. They're you know, like old school rock and roll. They're really cool. They've always kind of had my back a little bit, and you know, just kind of meeting people as you go along and making those friendships and connections and stuff like that.
Right. No.
Really, how you get.
Do you have like anybody that you would want to work with in the future?
Oh man, I mean,
you could obviously do a lot of different type of music or work with any type of artist in rock and roll, because there's so many different positions. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. There's so many different positions. I need to stop over talking myself. I'm trying to I'm trying to say the question so precise, but it's like I'm overthinking it too much.
Oh no, you're fine, man. So I mean, I couldn't really think of any like names specifically, but I'm kind of one of those people, like, if I have the time, I'm always open to doing like a little jam session or like a, you know, a little experimental project and just seeing where it goes.
Do you have any like legends though that you would die hard play with though?
I mean, probably not in Charleston, but
no, yeah, anywhere
in
like,
the world. Oh, like if I could pick like anybody to play. Oh my gosh, living. I mean, maybe the Zeppelin guys.
Okay, that would be cool, bro. Yeah, I've heard a few of their songs.
Learn a little something from Jimmy Page.
What role would you play if you could? Would you try to be vocal or like?
Oh, I'd have to play rhythm guitar, man, and just learn. You know,
yeah,
just sit and watch. You know, just to sit in and just watch them do their thing would just be completely ridiculous.
Oh, that's a dream, bro.
And there aren't. from that generation, there aren't too many left, and they really set the standard for everything I try to do now. And it's.
So how do you feel about the rock, or even just in general? How's it going now? You think it's not going the way that it should be, or even metal, or
everything? Okay, this is a great example. You watch much South Park?
A little bit.
A little bit. All right. So there's this one episode where it's like this guy from the future, right? And there's no identity left to them anymore. You know, there's just all the races mixed, all the languages mixed. They can't speak nothing. They look like aliens. And I feel like that's kind of where rock music is going. You can't almost define it as rock music anymore. You listen to your modern rock station. I mean, nothing against any of these genres at all, but it's like, it's mostly pop music. Like, and I'm not talking like the way I make pop rock, but like, you know, there's a lot of like synthesizers and like disco beats behind it, and it's like, it's not everything's just kind of intertwining, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's just hard to, I guess, develop some type of identity like that.
But you know, you got the authentic rock music that should stick to rock.
And I feel like a lot of that's dying these days, which is just really too bad.
Do you have any like particular bands that you feel like it's given life to it now, or do you think it's completely like?
No.
'Cause there's always those ones little diamonds that still shine.
Yeah, absolutely. Genres. So I can't remember where these guys are from. They might be out of a. There's no telling, but they're pretty relevant. I think they're touring with Guns N' Roses right now. Dirty Honey, they do a great job. But it's one of those that kind of borrow a lot of their sound from Guns N' Roses. Right. Like the first time I heard him, I was like, "Oh, this guy sounds like Axl Rose." I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, this is a great song, but it's like, again, the identity thing. Yeah, man. And same thing with like Greta Van Fleet. I mean, they're as rock and roll as you can get. I saw them live one time. They looked exactly like Led Zeppelin. Exactly.
I mean, I that's why I don't really get my expectations high anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's hard
especially
to,
in the music industry. It's kind of like. But I was gonna ask, do you think that when it's all said and done, like you will come out to be like one of the best to ever do it in your genre?
Oh man, I'd love to, but at the same time, you know, just about doing what you love, and hopefully, you know, you put enough passion into it, someone else will feel that too, you know.
And they'll fuel other people, and other people. It's like it's something contagious.
Right, like, you know, I'd love to be the next freaking, you know, Kurt Cobain superstar. Everyone, you know, that'd be cool. But it's like, just being able to, you know, play my music and play shows, and even if 10 people are listening, it's like, I always have this saying, you know, 5 people or 5,000 people, you give them the same show. Yeah. You're an entertainer, it's what you do.
Yeah, that's your job.
You know?
Yeah, no, and I think that's something a lot of people don't fill in the lane with now, is because we expect high demand on money, and you know, if I'm performing, I need 1,500. Like, especially around here. I know. Especially around here, I don't think really that many people deserve that. And if you keep it a thing, like, we're not on that level. We should be more on that collaborative level, where we're like, let's do this and do this and do this, and then work with another person and do it and keep going.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's So, do you like have any big future plans for yourself in your band? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years from now, I'd like to see myself at least playing like maybe the small stage at a festival. Okay. A solid opening act for a touring band.
Anything preferable?
Not particularly. I mean, the way things are now, I'm sure there will be a drastic change in the next couple of years, and we just gotta kind of wait and find out. I mean, that's how the music industry is, though. I mean, with all this AI and stuff, who knows if we'll even need real musicians in 5 years, right?
Dude, honestly.
You know?
That's kind of scary to think
it's
about.
It's terrifying, but, I mean, no, it's completely different. It's completely different.
You got AI stuff going on, you got people not knowing how to even find sound. I don't even know how music's made anymore. I wonder how the studio session, how's your studio session normally go? Yeah, so, so what we did with his most recent EP, it's called Nashville Style. So, big open room, you got drums in the back, bass over here, guitars over here, keyboards right there. Just play. We'll cut the scratch track. You know, we just play like we would live. Get a solid drum track out of that. Then we go down individually. You know, we mic the amps in the back, and I mean, it's just the only thing that's changed since the '70s with the way we recorded it is that we're using a computer now. Yeah, that's crazy. All real music, man. Real instruments. Which one do you prefer? Do you like being in a studio more than performing live, or do you like to perform live?
There's a different magic to it, you know. So when you're in the studio, you can kind of be your purest self in a way. I mean, you can keep doing it over and over and over again until it's exactly how you want it. You can double layer your vocals. You can track your guitars, get this crazy tones and stuff. But when you're playing live, it's like it's as raw and as good as it's gonna get, you know. Your live show is you. I mean, if you can't bring what you put in the studio live, what the heck are you doing, you know?
Right. No, that's a fact, dude. Cause
that's changed a lot in the world though too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was about to
you know,
say.
a lot of real instruments have been taken out of the live performance, unfortunately. Which is, I mean, I guess it's a lot less liabilities, but it takes a bit of the humanity out of it.
I think it's on it, and hear me out. I may be wrong. I think it's a money game. Like, I think people don't want to give people the money for a simple thing that could be easily fulfilled. You know what I'm saying?
And that goes a lot deeper than you think, because a lot of the money has been taken out of the music industry in general. I mean, not bashing any of the streaming services, but I mean, so 1974, you could go see a band for $7.
Yeah.
Inflation and all that. I mean, in today's money, it'd be like $30-40 maybe, you know. And now, I mean, how much are Taylor Swift tickets going for?
I know, like $900,
$600, $700,
Yeah,
because there's no more money in recording almost, unless you can get like ad placement and stuff like that, like, you know, your songs used in a movie or a commercial or something like that. But as far as record sales, I mean, people don't buy physical media. It's not a thing anymore.
Right.
And that's where artists used to make their money, so they'd be able to deliver a better product on the road, and that, because they already had their money. They were good.
Yeah.
They were good. They were really just sharing their music at that point. I mean, they didn't make money touring. They didn't need to. Most of the, you know, the money from their music sales paid for the touring, and that's why everything's gone up so much as far as in the music industry. I feel like is just because they have to compensate somewhere.
Right.
Ticket prices, merch sales, you know. That's how you got to get by these days.
And you got the radios. Nobody's listening to radio no more. So how is music ever gonna get? You know what I mean? I don't even know when people drop anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's like music
Unless you
is
follow
so
them,
it's impossible. So the world has changed drastically. If there's one thing that you could change in the world, what is it? It could be music related, or even just anything.
Man. I guess one thing that would really be cool to see change.
Hey, it's contagious.
You got me, man. You got me.
Got
All
you.
right. But
I'm not alone. Thank you.
Again, like the humanity in music, like, I mean, the way people used to connect through music, I feel like was just different.
Yeah. Maybe, dude, I don't mean to cut you off. I know you're
you're
gonna say
good.
more. I think it was since COVID.
COVID had a lot to do with a lot.
Think about
especially in
music
entertainment
before
in general.
COVID. There was some bangers, like there was some
yeah.
good music coming out. Even the older people that were legends are dropping good music. And then now you look at it, it's just like TikTok has messed it up. You know, all these different things. So
we go back to what I was talking about you know, the Nashville studio all recording in a room together.
Yeah.
A lot of that got eliminated during COVID. People realized we would never be in the same freaking city to record a record together.
Wow.
I'll send you this guitar track. Here you go, work on it for a little bit. Oh, you recorded your part at home? Cool. Especially these, like, you know, really big musicians that have all have their own studios in their homes.
Right.
Like,
dude, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Dude, that's insane. Then you got AIs. I know I said it earlier, but that's like the next level of like taking over everything. Like you.
Why would any smart businessman pay a producer to write a beat when they can type in exactly what they want?
Dude, that's scary, man. I'm scared, man. Yeah. All right, guys, I love you, but this is insane. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know about the social media stuff, because imagine if this camera just got up and just walked down and was like, I quit. I don't want to record this no more.
Dude.
You know what I mean? That's next level. Like, I feel like, you know, they already said there's some, like, I mean, we heard about the aliens and stuff. And
right, of course.
Maybe we're aliens. I don't mean to bring that up in the interview, but...
Oh, you're getting in that ancient alien
theories
and stuff like that? Oh, man.
I just thought it was
real,
because, I don't know, you seen that, back there is real. You seen that meme with the girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the aliens got announced 2 weeks after that. How does that happen?
Dude, there's
so weird,
so much going on right now.
Like, and I don't mean to get into that, but it's just like, I don't know, do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, I mean, how could you not?
Yeah, that is true.
Do you think we're the only ones in this freaking universe? Whether it's a green man with a little belt and his space gun, or he looks just like you and me coming down here.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know.
Right. No, you're right.
I mean,
I think that's what makes life beautiful, though, is like not knowing what's out there, though. You know?
Yeah, man. I was reading this philosophy book the other day, kind of going into like what we were just talking about, like aliens, or like whatever. I can't remember who it was. Perhaps Socrates had this theory about a perfect form. So everything's based off of one perfect image of something. That could kind of go into like the, you know, it's not gonna. I don't think there'll be a green man in the flying saucer coming down and seeing us. I think he'll look just like us, man. You'll never know the difference.
No, that's the thing about it too.
People say that have been going on. If we want to dive into it like that, people say that have been going on since the 50s.
Yeah,
So
no, I believe it. That's why I just, we talked about it. We won't dig into it too much, and I think it's crazy.
They're come for us, man.
Yeah, no, right.
And
that's why I think I'm not afraid to get this platform to where it can be and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to talk about this. Because let's say 20 years comes by, right? You go back to this interview and you're like, dog, they said the alien. You know what I mean? What if this comes to real life and you got one, yo, what up, cuz? And he's like, I'm an alien. We're like, what? You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I think it's crazy, bro. But where can we find you on social media, man? Where's your social media platform?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're mostly on Facebook. We started doing a little bit of TikTok stuff. We're on SoundCloud. That's about all I got running right now.
That's great. It takes time, man. I think y'all are more of. I feel like rock is more of a live.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's more of and hear me out. I'm not trying to be weird. No, what's your Spotify to rock band?
Spotify? I'm not on Spotify.
No, I was saying imagine asking that to rock.
Oh, yeah,
it's let me hear you live, bro.
Yeah.
Come out and get a drink and come chill and listen to us live.
That's
where
the
you catch
ultimate
the full
experience.
vibe.
Yeah,
thank
absolutely.
you. So I think that's what the more answer is to what I ask. But I was gonna also say, do you? Oh yeah, how was your band name brought about? How was that?
This is kind of crazy. Yeah,
I meant to ask about that.
So my the other guitar player in the band, huge gamer. It was from Metal Gear Solid, I think.
Wow. Okay.
And the move was one move he really liked doing, and he was like, "Oh, how about this?" And he thought it was high impact distortion. Mm-hmm. It's high impact something else. I don't remember what it was exactly.
How long did it take him to realize that? Did you already name the whole band that and then come up with that? Or
yeah, but it worked so much better that way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it worked so much better. Because he was like, oh, what about this? Well, I think it's a move from this. Let me look it up. And he's like, oh, actually, that's nothing at all. We can totally use that.
Right.
I was like, let's use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because we didn't want to have any copyright or anything down the road.
Now.
You know?
Yeah. I thought it was something you found out afterwards making it.
No, yeah.
That's cool. No, that's still cool.
I stumbled upon it by accident.
Is that something? I mean, even looking back, did you make the last band that you were part of, the Sex of Tiffany, or was that something you made too?
That's kind of a funny story how that name came about as well. Yeah. We were kind of just shooting puns back and forth. We couldn't decide on a band name.
Yeah.
I think I said Haley's Vomit, kind of like Haley's Comet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. Then he was like, "What about Sex at Tiffany's instead of Breakfast at Tiffany's?" And I was like, "Dude, that's gas."
So then, do you think that you progressed your name more? I wanted to intertwine that.
I think every name's just as good as the last.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
you feel like you've been
everyone.
revamped though? Do you feel like it's a new a new step in life?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like being baptized, but not being baptized.
Yeah, it's kind of a new awakening. So I mean, recently it's this is kind of the band I'm in now. It kind of feels like I've been building up to this. I've always wanted this really, really big sound with multiple guitars and the keyboards and all that. And I've never had that before. So finally, just in the last few weeks, achieved that, it feels like. And
came out with what you just showed me, right?
Yeah,
That's
some of the best music I've ever made in my life.
Crazy.
Yeah, so.
What's next?
I don't know. We're going to find out, I guess.
Yeah, you going to travel, tour, or anything?
I'd like to. So, I mean, playing in Charleston's great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Janis Joplin quotes. I'm gonna paraphrase this. I can't remember off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. But you'll never get anywhere playing in the same city every night. Yeah. The same 15 people are gonna get tired of listening to you.
That's a fact, bro.
And
that's something that a lot of these artists around here need to take in consideration because there's a wider audience out there.
There's a whole world out there.
Yes, and people don't, and that's why I don't get mad about nobody watching my podcast because it's bro.
They won't know until they know.
They won't know until they know, man. So, dude, no, it's been an honor, bro, and I hope I've covered everything we kind of could have covered. This was a great conversation.
Man, we could go all night.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we could go all night.
That's why I said we gotta get you on for 4 times a year.
Oh,
so I'm gonna see this man more on.
Absolutely.
Really genuine person, great artist, great guitarist, great vocalist, great everything, bro. What do you not do? You game. You're a father. Bro, you're a great person.
Spread very thin over here.
Vibes. Hey, his hair's long and nice, bro. Y'all gotta check out him whenever he performs. Do you normally perform a lot, a lot, or is it just whenever you can?
So we're kind of trying to get more strategic about it. No, absolutely. We don't have anything booked in the near future. You can catch us around town. I'm sure we'll be at Trolley Pub or Tin Roof or Burns Alley sometime soon. I mean, those are kind of our stomping grounds in town, you know?
Okay.
So we just kind of, when we're asked to play, you know, sometimes Ridgeville Roadhouse, I've never heard of them, is way out in the sticks. We can party like hell out there.
No,
man.
yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, just keep an eye out for our flyers. We try to, you know, share them around, post them up around town, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because some people really need to check you out and the whole band, bro.
Yeah.
It's probably beautiful. I can imagine
you know,
it
check out
live.
the Facebook. We got a lot of live footage. If you Google us, there's some great live footage from when we first played Burns Alley a couple months ago. It's almost the whole set. I think it's like a 50-minute video. You know.
Wow, dude, that's hard, man.
Oh yeah.
How do you go about that? Like being able to perform for 50 minutes.
Do you mind if I cross promote?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So Turtle War is on YouTube as well. He goes around and records a lot of the local bands. He's got a whole channel full of local, like Charleston rock, and like he gets the whole performance. Crazy.
Well, shout out to you, dude. You need to get him on here too, so we can talk about his experiences. That's cool, man. I can imagine doing that. You know, Narwhal. Narwhal. Yeah. That's kind of how I see like when people do that. But he interviews too, or.
No, I think it's mostly. I think he just kind of hangs in the back.
That's the Narwhal part.
Yeah, record
that's still, dude. Keep doing that because you're saving people's lives, especially artists and stuff. Like you're helping people.
To have that out there, like just like now.
Right.
You know, where can we hear your music? Well, I don't have a whole lot out, but. You know, this guy's got full-length concerts on YouTube. Turtle Wars, I think.
That's hard. Totally.
Yeah,
that's hard. I like that name.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I might have to use that. But no, man. Last question. How do you always be yourself? What makes you solidify being Dylan Wood?
Oh man!
Whenever you wake up, when you first open your eyes, and you might hear "Goo Goo Gaga" from the babies.
They ain't that young, but yeah, man. I mean, you just always gotta. I mean, I especially like to teach my children this. You know, you just always be yourself. You know, just don't care what people think. My dad told me something great when I was young. You know, what people say about you is none of your business. Mm-hmm. You know, just keep doing you. People will follow. They will, especially if you're true. You know, your genuine self. Mm-hmm. People either relate to you or they won't. And if they don't, I'm not going to use that language on your show.
No, that's it. I might have to do that as the promo. Hey, he's right though, because like I think that's what we battle with every day mentally is caring about what other people think about you, bro. And
absolutely.
I feel like that's what makes you who you are, and that was a really good answer, bro, because the people who really know you know that was the truth.
Absolutely.
Because since I've met you, bro, you've really shown nothing but love, man. I've had some crazy incidents with people, and what I've told you off air.
Absolutely.
Stuff happening that you can't control, and it's like, thank you, bro. It's been beautiful, bro.
It's been a pleasure.
Interview 82.
Number 82.
We'll have him back very soon. We gotta have you come back.
I'd love to be back, man.
Yeah, man. No, it's been beautiful. Thank you, guys. Stay true to yourself, and the only way to achieve your dreams is through you. No one else is gonna do it. You gotta get up every single day, and you gotta grind. Even gotta play the guitar sometimes, you know? Thank you, Dylan.
Absolutely, man.
You be safe. Love you guys. Peace.
Peace and love.